So here's a really good guy that the algorithm randomly recommended to me, Dwayne from Dry Creek Wrangler School, and seems like to be a really good guy, kind of filling in the role of the dad. So one of the things that he's talking about in this video is he's talking about like, look, if you're 25 and you think you have it all together, you're a fucking idiot. Here's a good picture I saw of like Chris Pratt, right? So he's an example of like when he's younger, just kind of a dumb, silly, dopey ESFP idiot. But now that he's older, I think he's about my age, probably mid-40s, maybe a little bit older. Like he's turning into kind of a mature, cool guy. That it's just a more common, like, who do you want to be? Like, do you want to be this fucking drug addict, dumb, crazy party idiot? Yeah, totally. Okay, great. Good luck with that. Or this guy who's a little bit more like, yeah, well, I'm a little bit more settled, a little bit more calm. Like, so much of the goal is setting it to where you're older, where it's actually going to be more realistic. This is one of my favorite pictures here. I remember Barack Obama when he came in, when he was like famous for being like the youngest president. He was all young and he was playing basketball. He's all happy. And I fucking just I love this so much of how much like time just grounded him. And this is 2014. So this is like still he's got more grind on his face. Like, who do you want to be? You want to be the young, naive dumbass that has no fucking idea what's coming? Like, your life is going to be so much anxiety. I want to be the tired, angry, worn out old man because then you can only be surprised in the positive. And you see it in the movies too, where you got the young kid. You cannot be the rock star. You cannot have it together. You're the archetype of the scared, silly, dumb idiot that has no idea what's coming. Your life expectations, you want it to be good, but it's actually bad. And this guy's like, look, I fucking been through it. I've accepted it. I'm zen. And that just fucking comes with time.
Let me ask you a question. At what age should you have it all together? At what age should you have it all figured out? I get a lot of mostly young men on the channel, and they're from 17 to 35, 36, 39, and they lament that they're at a place in their life and they don't have it figured out, and they don't have it all together. And they wonder what's wrong with them because they don't have it figured out. They don't have it all together. Of course you don't have it all together. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're not expected to have it all together. Anybody looks at you at 26, 27, 28 years old and says, hey man, what's wrong with you? How come you don't have everything figured out? They're a fool. Knowledge and experience and wisdom takes time. Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. If you haven't lived long enough to have a broad enough portfolio of experience, then you can't expect to have knowledge and wisdom.
Hey, don't you love this guy? He's like something out of a movie. It's a real guy.
We are told by society today, and it's inferred by movies and television programs, that by the time you're 26 or 27, you should be graduated from college, you should have a degree, you should have a good job, you should have a wife, and you should have it together. We watch these programs and they're, this movie, it's an hour and a half long, and within an hour and a half, a person goes from a goofed up teenager to someone who's just settled and got it all going on. And they get the job, they put their childhood bully in his place, they get the girl, fade to black. And we're left to imagine the rest of their life. And what we imagine is left with the last thing that we see. Man, they got it together. Of course, we don't consider the fact that if you turn the TV off and watch the news, you'll see those same actors show up in the news again and again, making stupid mistakes, and they ain't got it together.
What is actually the reality, the ST reality? So if I were to take a run at this guy's type from watching quite a bit of this guy, I do believe him to be an observer. We can go observer and we can go introvert, right? So that's kind of obviously. So he's like, if you're just thinking this, you're a fool. Like he's kind of calm with like pointing out, positive and negatives with people. He's then using people as the story, right? Because people are easy. Like you see, here's the actor in the movie, and here he is in real life, and doesn't have any problem trying to process that. He's using that to kind of paint his story. So he's kind of going back and forth with people there. We're seeing some sleep energy. This guy is not DE. This guy is naturally going, hey man, just hey, stop getting pulled in by that shit. Duh. And then he is being very accurate on the ST. Like he's doing ST, and let me go this way as well. Like watching this guy, watching some more of his clips, he has access to FE. He's aware of what sells. Like it talks about like, do you want the oak wood or do you want the pine wood? People want the oak. Like, how do you know that? Like, I know that, but like the FE is naturally keeping in tune with, oh, people like that. People want that. People buy that. It's not that the FIs can't, but we just kind of forget. I think he's actually thinking through the logic. And I think that he's staying grounded to the physical facts plus his job, you know what I mean? Doesn't seem to be a kind of a woo-woo kind of a guy. So I do believe him to be SITI. and then audio. So kind of a Matthew McConaughey, but more introverted. You know what I mean? One more thing real quick. Remember Chip Conley brought this up, this happiness curve, right? If you look that up on the internet, happiness curve. Again, not that anyone's going to do this. I don't see anybody ever doing it, but those that accidentally do, I got to tell you, this has helped me out so much in life of having this ST data. Again, this is kind of swinging from my demons. I know I'm an observer with Demon ST, and this is the kind of stuff that really saves me out a lot. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. But like knowing that this is reality, like this is real data out there, that your life is going to fucking suck, most likely, god damn, all the way to your fucking 60. So if you're 20, 30, even 40, and you're a shithead and your life is worse and worse and worse, you're doing good. Like, hang in there. Don't fucking tap out yet. Because if you keep going because you're a belligerent goddamn ass, you get all the way down to the bottom and that finally starts turning around. Oh, by the way, belligerent goddamn ass, you can turn this around. It's called conscious choice. It's called objectivity. It's called looking outside yourself, getting your head out of your own ass, and looking around going, all right. Let me slow down the fucking belligerency of everything has to be my story and my complaining and my way and blah, 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 blah. And I'm a victim and nobody... What if my problems really are the same as everybody else's? What if I made that fit? Well, then you'd have access to all the fucking answers they have. Oh, but you can't, because your problems are so bad and so specific, therefore you're not allowed to have the general answers that work for everybody and can get you on your way. Okay, well, see you at fucking 60 then. How about that? Here's another image that's kind of nice, kind of makes it really good. 40s and 50s, you are here. God damn, right? That's like 50. For me, and I see this for some kids, I'll see this in some kids that will come to the video typing, you can have a midlife crisis in your 20s. I have seen it. It hasn't happened to me, but I have seen people have midlife crises in their 20s. You got to have a combination of a really, really hard time and humility, consciousness, responsibility, and confidence. Like, you got to be willing to take it on head on. You be like, I know what's going on, and I'm going to dive into this. I just see most people not being able to do that because I forgot. I got distracted. Oh, you're just not done yet. You're just not worn out yet. Because the darkness is when and that's like the deep depression, is when you can't forget. Because everybody's like depressed, on this day, and then the weekend they're happy and they're just going up and down, up and down, up. It's when you're like, you cannot forget, and it's just all encompassing. And then you got to have the confidence and momentum to move from that. It's a very hard equation that most people don't get cornered into that till later. But I have seen people do it in their 20s. I feel like for myself, my rock bottom was about 35. So, yay for me, I'm about 10 years fucking early, which is fucking great. Anyways, the point I'm saying in all this is that it's extremely comforting, and this is what Dwayne, I think, is trying to say, is he's trying to say to people like, hey, look at the tribe spectrum. You got two sleep IJs telling you the same fucking story of like, hey, do I got to be the guy to sit here and smoke in my pipe and yell at you and tell you, look at the tribe spectrum? Do I have to tell you this? Because if you look at the tribe spectrum of most people, if you're in your 20s, 30s, and even 40s, you should be having a hard time. You should have it not all together. You should be a shit fucking mess. And if you are going on that path, and if it is, I guess one thing I'm trying to say is like, if you're going through a hard time and you're below 50, you're doing it right. I think if you're going through all good times and you're younger and you haven't had your hard times yet, you're in a lot of trouble. It's the happy, dopey, delusional, yibby-skibby people. Those are the ones I'm like, ugh, get the fuck away from me. I want to be near the people that are like, my life's hard, my life sucks, I'm trying to do something about it. Because the math says, the statistics say, that if they keep going, things are going to be going back up.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire. Until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot. And it melts you down. And you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out. And it's going to put you on the anvil. And it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, what? Am I done yet? Am I a sword for the ages? No. No, you're not. You're not done yet. Embrace the process. And don't look for what you are supposed to be fully, completely polished, sharpened, edged, tempered at 26 or 36, at 46. You've got a lot more forge time left. You've got a lot more hammer blows left. And it takes time. But if you will patiently embrace the process, then by the time you get up in years, you can be a man that you're proud of.